This
or else
conference will now be recorded.
We'll be taking each and every topic from the basics till advanced concepts, so that we implement this in a project. And the CICD pipeline will be developed on multiple applications. You'll get enough hands-on, enough practice, okay, regarding the lab setup, regarding the notes, regarding the videos, all of them we shall discuss at the end of the class. Okay, now let's begin. I believe you all can see my screen. So let's first talk about what is DevOps, why DevOps came in, why should we learn DevOps, how it helps in a software methodology, can I implement this in our project, right? So let's talk about these things. Can you all see the black screen now?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
confirming. Thank you. So let us talk about what DevOps is all about. See, some of you here might be already know what is DevOps, or else let me tell you one more thing before I begin. You may be knowing some pointers, okay? You may know already some tool, but let us assume and learn from the detail, okay? Let's make our fundamentals strong. Let's understand the advanced concepts thoroughly, right? So to make all this possible, let's go from the beginning. So now let's talk about what is DevOps. See, like I said, yeah, you may be having some idea about it. See, whenever you see the term, you can see it's a combination of two terms, development and operations. So where does development team come into here, or where does development task come in here, and what does operations team does here? See, let's talk about this. I believe you all know what is development, but like I said, let me take up from the scratch. Development is nothing but writing a program, right? Writing the code, writing the program, developing the application, right? So here, let's say they use some programming language, or else let's say developers or the people who are in this team, we may call them as programmers or developers. They write the programs, they develop the application, they design the application, all of them will be taken care by them, right? They may also use some programming languages, like let's say C Sharp or PHP, whatever, right? They write the programs, they design the application, they build the application, right? This is the task performed. These are the tasks performed by development team. And coming to ops team, operations, right? They take care of the servers, they take care of the services on those servers, right? They also take care of the networks, access, logins, all of them will be taken care by ops team, right? So these are the major tasks taken care by ops. In simple, we can say, yes, infrastructure management could be taken care by ops team. See, so this is what development team on ops team does. And here we should also talk about the process involved in developing any application. Take any application in the real world, maybe some shopping application, maybe some e-commerce application, or else let's say some social media application like Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. Okay, let me take some application like Amazon.com. Okay, a shopping application which we use in our daily life. So if you take up this application or any application for that point, many teams, many people are involved in the process of this application development and release. So we'll talk about the main teams here, like development team, ops team, QA team. QA team means testers, right? So developers write the programs, they use some programming language, they write the code, they develop it. Testers will test the application, whether they meet them, whether this application is meeting the standards, whether this application is as per the norms, as per the guidelines, right? Whether, and also they perform different levels of testing. There'll be again different types of testing and so on. Again, there are different types. Maybe they may be testing it manually, or else again they may test it automatically, like automation testing by writing some test scripts, whatever it is. So developers write the code, testers test it, and once it is ready, they'll configure the servers and run the application. This is in short. See, there are many people, many teams involved in developing an application. I'm talking about the major teams or the major tasks. So yeah, development team, QA team, and ops team are involved this way. So let us take a simple example here. Suppose developers have to execute some task. Maybe they have to build something or they have to test something. Whatever this dev team and QA team need, means if whatever task they need to perform, they need to have the infrastructure, isn't it? They need to have the servers, they need to have the services, They need to have the networks, access, logins, and so on. Am I correct? So yeah, for all of these things, they need to have the infrastructure. Let's take a simple example. Like I said, developers need some to perform new tasks. They need a new operating system or a new server. They would request ops team, and ops team should serve the request by providing the operating system they need. Means here what is happening? Ops team is supporting dev team by providing the infrastructure they need. Am I correct? Ops team is supporting them. So once they provide the operating system, they can perform the task. So how it would be in real scenario? Whenever developers needs any task, they would be requesting the ops team. Ops team would serve them. But before ops team serving their request, there are some checks which ops team will perform. Because if this change is made, is the infrastructure going to be stable? Are the servers going to be up and running? Are the networks going to be connected? Any network going to be disconnected? Any server going to be crashed? Or any access is going to fail? They do all these checks before they serve the request. Am I correct? Because the ops teams always need stability in the infrastructure. They need the infrastructure should be always stable and running. Developers look for agility there because they need some changes to perform their task, right? So development team looks for agility in the infrastructure, whereas ops team look for stability, and they do lot many checks to perform their to serve the request. Meanwhile, what is happening? Yes, it takes some time to perform the request. Meanwhile, developers are still waiting for the change they need. Ops teams are taking some time to serve the request. So here, dev team, ops team are two separate teams. They don't have proper understanding, proper collaboration between them, and hence there arises some gap. Why is this gap? Because the developers don't know why ops team is taking so long to serve the request. Similarly, ops team doesn't know why developers need this change. Correct? So there arises some gap between the teams because there is no proper communication, there is no proper understanding between them. They don't know why operations are taking so long, right? So how to overcome this problem? How to overcome the gap between the teams? Any solution, any idea you have? How to overcome the gap between these two teams? Here dev team means I am including QA also. Okay, testing team also I'm including here. If testing team need any new servers to be configured, installed, they would request ops team. Ops team should serve them, right? Should provide the required infrastructure or changes to the infrastructure. And yeah, because they don't understand each other properly, because these are different teams. These are different teams with a different skill set. Developer skill set is programming languages, some database, some build process and all. Testers core skill set is testing tools, test scripts, or manual testing and all. Operations works in the deployment process. So their areas of expertise, their core skills are different. Technically they work differently, so they don't understand what each other team need or what other team does, but they're all working in the same process, hence there arises some gap between the teams. So how to overcome this gap? Anyone can answer. You can unmute and answer or speak up.
Maybe
Yep.
maybe if knowledge is shared and maybe like the developers know how to do the setup by of the servers, or maybe if they start doing the setup of the server simultaneously while doing the development.
Yeah, actually, to overcome this gap, there were many approaches implemented, but the right approach, which was working today, the right approach is DevOps. That's where DevOps came in. So, why DevOps came in? What is the first reason? See, we were talking about why DevOps came in. The first reason is to overcome the gap between the teams, to eliminate the gap so that they can understand each other challenges. That's the reason why DevOps came in. Got it. So, but how DevOps can eliminate the gap? I'll explain you that in few minutes. So that's one reason to eliminate the gap between the teams. What is the other reason? Is that the only reason? No, there were a couple of reasons. What is the second reason? The other reason is, okay, let's say, okay, developers are ready with the application. Application coding is completed. It's ready for deployment. See, I am talking about the traditional approach. I didn't explain DevOps approach yet. Okay, we were talking about traditional approach. so that we could really appreciate the importance of DevOps approach. So developers develop the application, and what happens then? They will, for deploying this application, you know what is meant by deploying. If anyone knew, let's say, to run the application and provide it to end users. Okay, they will hand over the application to ops teams. Okay, developers and QA team, once their application is developed, once it is tested, okay, let me put it more briefly, more detail. Sorry, let me put it more detail. Developers write the code, develop the application, they'll give it to testers. Testers will test it. Suppose they find some bugs, they'll again send to development team, they'll fix it. This process keep on continuing till there were no bugs. No bugs, zero bugs, application is good. Then, yes, it is ready for release. They will hand over, these teams now will hand over the application to operations team. Okay, so operation, they'll hand over this application to operations. Now operations have to run this on a servers and provide it to end users. Okay, so how do they do? So to do this, the ops team have to create the servers, right? Install the servers. They have to configure the servers where the application is run. Also, they should install all the software compatible to it, right? They should install all the software which is compatible to this app. Let us take again another example. This is a Java application. They should install Java, that too the right version of Java which supports the application, isn't it? Right versions, right operating system, right? Right environment, right? Not only Java, maybe this many Tomcat or whatever other softwares, right? So ops team should take care of installing the right versions, right environment so that the application can run. Am I correct? Also, during when this team provides the application to ops team, they'll also provide the instruction document. That instruction document, okay, we'll have, yes, any questions from anyone? Some of you unmuted.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
Good
yes,
morning.
Ashutosh.
Ma'am, I don't know the what you are talking. I'm not
Sorry,
understanding. I'm not understanding what you are speaking about.
you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what is your question? Please put your question. Your voice is not audible and clear. Please put your question in the questions panel or in the chat window. You don't need to know DevOps. That's what I'm teaching. I didn't start teaching DevOps yet. Okay, I'm just talking about the traditional approach and the challenges. I didn't teach again what is DevOps. I didn't teach DevOps yet. I'll be talking about what is DevOps in a couple of minutes. Okay, I didn't teach it what is DevOps yet. We were talking about the challenges. So this team will provide the application to ops team along with the instruction document. But this instruction document, yeah, it's going to have the steps, which version of Java it should have, which version of the operating system or what environment should be there. But again, this document may not be properly understood by ops team because like I said, the developers approach will be different, right? Their technical skills, their code skills, their areas of expertise are different. So ops team may not be able to understand that, even though it is understood. When they are running the steps, there might be some mistakes in those steps, or else those steps might not be working in a different environment. Also, they need to install it on multiple servers like Windows, Linux, and so on. Those steps differ from each environment. All of this is going to take some time, and what is happening eventually, deployment process is going to slow down. That's why once the application is ready, it's not going to be deployed and available for end users immediately. It takes some couple of time, it takes some couple of days. Am I correct? Yeah. So deployment stop process is slow down. So how to accelerate this deployment speed? How to deploy the applications very quickly, very faster, because that's how business works nowadays. It's a very fast deployment process implemented. So how is this possible now? So there comes again DevOps. I'm just talking about why DevOps came in. Okay, I didn't teach what is DevOps yet. I'll be talking about it. So first thing is to eliminate the gap so that the teams can understand each other properly and they have proper collaboration. That's the first reason. Second reason is to faster the deployment process, means to automate the deployment process, and the automation should be available 24/7. Automation is possible. How is this possible? See, development team or QA team, once the application is ready, will hand over the application to DevOps team, not an ops team. It's a DevOps team. What is the difference? DevOps team is a team of people who know the automation process of deployment. They need not struggle about the versions. They need not struggle about the compatibility. Still, they can deploy their application automatically very quickly. So how is that possible? Means they are using some tools, they are using some process. That is what is DevOps, and we'll be learning about that process and the methodology in this course. Am I making sense, everyone? Right? There is a DevOps team who work for automating the entire process. Once the application is ready, hand over it to DevOps team. They'll take care of deploying it to multiple servers, huge number of servers automatically without manual intervention. How is it possible? Yes, that is what is DevOps. The automation 24/7 is possible because of this DevOps methodology and also by use of the tools. Understood the 2 points, the reason for DevOps, everyone? Can I get a quick confirmation from all of you? You can unmute and speak up, or else you can put your message in the chat
Yes,
window. Are we good to go?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, everyone, for confirming. Thank you, Hariharan. Thanks, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So this is another reason, okay, why DevOps came in. And then what is the third reason? The third reason is overcome the drawbacks posed by the traditional software methodologies. Traditional software methodologies like waterfall model or any other methodologies, right? It overcomes those drawbacks. So why DevOps came in? To eliminate the gap, to make the teams collaborate well, to work so that they can work with a proper understanding. Everything can be automated without manual intervention. 24/7 automation is possible, and also it can overcome the challenges of waterfall methodologies or any other traditional methodology. So now let us talk about what are the challenges posed by this waterfall methodology. Let's talk about the waterfall methodology here now. See, our intention is not to learn the waterfall methodology also, but to really understand and appreciate the importance of DevOps. Let's see the challenges of this methodology. Yes, any methodology you may take, software development lifecycle. I believe every one of you know this, but I'm also just giving an overview of it. Software development lifecycle is nothing but process of steps involved in developing an application. Like if you talk about software development lifecycle, the a typical one, first you have requirement gathering. Requirements will be gathered from the client, requirement analysis, and then design the application, and then coding begins. Once coding is done, testing, and then delivery and maintenance. Okay, these are the different activities, and yes, this goes in a only one direction. Okay, means each after that, after requirement gathering you have analysis, after analysis design, and so on. This goes only in one direction, and hence this methodology is called waterfall methodology. Okay, I'm talking about typical waterfall methodology which every one of you might be aware of, right? So this methodology served the industry for decades, right? But still it has got the challenges. What are the challenges? Yes, it has got challenges for both the development team and ops team. So what are the challenges developers are facing because of this waterfall methodology? Anyone? I believe many of you might be having some idea of waterfall methodology. If you are new, no worries. I am explaining you here. Anyone want to share your inputs?
Yeah,
No,
ma'am.
no feedback from the
Shivani.
client till the final product is delivered uh, in the waterfall methodology, and no deliverables to the client till the end of the cycle,
Yep.
and yeah, a couple of things. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, Shivani, are you saying something?
Yeah, same as you can't means previous back and all that forward and
Yeah, no
for
feedback possible, no going back possible, right? So yeah, let
yeah.
me put the pointers here. It's a very slow methodology. Let's say coding is completed today. It's not going for testing immediately, maybe after 6 months. Meanwhile, developers start working on the new code. After 6 months, testers test this old code. Then they come up with bugs in the old code. So here, developers will have a lot of pressure. They need to work on new code as well as fix the bugs in the old code. And also because testing happened at a very later stage, right, it might be very slow, it may take some time, the process might be very slow, it's not effective and economical, it's not economical. So that's one of the challenge. Second one is not flexible enough. The model is not flexible, meaning suppose you are in designing, client comes with new requirements or new modifications, that's not possible here. But nowadays, almost all the applications, all the clients come up with new requirements. They should be accommodated, right? But that doesn't happen in waterfall methodology. If that doesn't happen, it doesn't work in today's market. Today, almost every client keep on changing the requirements, keep on adding the requirements. So it's not flexible. It doesn't work in today's market. Also, complete software will be delivered all at once, maybe after 2 years completes, or let's say requirements were given in 2020, they'll be freezed and they deliver it in 2022 or 23. But in between in these 3 years, no changes were accepted. So when you deliver it in 2023, business might have changed completely, client doesn't need this anymore, right? So it doesn't work in reality. These are all the challenges faced by development team because of this waterfall methodology. Similarly, ops teams also face the challenges. The challenges like everything is manual here, right? I'm talking about all the manual process. Because the model is slow, they need to maintain the servers up and running for all the time, which is a huge challenge. Maintaining the server uptime for longer duration is going to be a challenge, right? So maintaining server uptime is a challenge manually without any automation. Poor configuration management. Configuration management is again a separate concept. Okay, we'll be talking about this in detail as we progress. Here, let me tell you, managing the servers means what happened on which server, what is configured on what server at what time. All this information is not available. So it's a poor configuration management, no proper management of the servers, no detailed history of what is happening on which server. If something went wrong, if a server crashed, there is no detailed monitoring also available. Poor monitoring, no monitoring, let's say. See, if there are one or two servers, you may sit and monitor. But if you don't have the when you have a huge infrastructure and if you are going to monitor them manually, monitoring means to check the health of the servers, to check the health of the application, manually is not possible. Here, everything is happening manually, no automation. So these are all the challenges faced by operations team due to this waterfall methodology. So how to overcome these challenges? Yep. That's where actually Agile methodology came in. Agile methodology came in to overcome the challenges faced by both the teams. But this could overcome only the challenges of dev team. It could not overcome the challenges of ops team. So how about the challenges of ops team then? How to overcome the challenges of ops team? Ops team challenges are still there. So there came again another methodology called DevOps, okay, which can overcome the challenges of both the teams. How is that possible? Yes, we'll discuss that. But before that, let me also talk about how Agile can overcome challenges of dev team. Okay, we are not going to learn Agile or waterfall. I'm saying again, just you need to know what it is doing, why we need a methodology. Agile can overcome challenges of developer team because in Agile implements like frequent releases. Every week or every alternative week there is a release. Means code is not developed and delivered all at once after 2 years. Code will be delivered every week or every alternative week, every once in every 15 days also. So what happens then, because they're delivering a bit of code, that code would be immediately going for testing, means bug fixing become faster. When bug fixing become faster, it's economical and it could be fixed faster. Once it is fixed faster, it would be again released. right? Code is always stable and ready for release. So, and also any modifications, new requirements can be accommodated because the process keep on continuing. Let me elaborate. Let's take a week one. Okay, let's say on the first week development is happening. They developed a chunk, a bit of code called A. On week 2, immediately this chunk of code A will be going for testing. Meanwhile, developers are not sitting idle. They will be developing another chunk of code B. On week 3, again this B will be tested and so on. Of course, at some point of time, all the code will be combined and tested. A plus B will be combined. Then only it makes a complete process, right? So if you notice, every week, both development and testing happening parallelly, iteratively, or continuously. You may use any term, iteratively or parallelly or continuously. Developers and testing team are working hand in hand. Okay, every week new requirements can be accepted, modifications can be accepted because testing development keep on going every week. This process is called continuous development, continuous testing, and any new changes will be merged into the system and tested. That's called continuous integration, right? Continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration. Because Agile implements this, it could overcome the challenges faced by development team. Got it, all of you? I'll talk about this in detail. We'll be talking about this process in detail, and also we'll see automating this process, which is CICD pipeline. But here I'm just giving you an overview. Got this point, all of you? Any questions in this part from anyone? Am I clear? Appreciate your quick responses. Any questions, or is it clear?
Can you repeat this CDCI? What was it? Actually, I missed that.
Yes, come again, please.
What was the CDCI CT? Actually, I missed that part. Network was
Continuous
not proper.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration. Meaning here I have explained, on every week development testing will happen parallelly. If you take week 1, developers are developing a chunk of code A. Next week this A will be tested. Meanwhile, developers develop another chunk of code B. So if you take any particular week, both development and testing are happening. At some point of time, both of them will be combined and then tested, which is called continuous integration. So this process is called continuous development, continuous testing, and continuous integration. Because Agile implements that, it can overcome the challenges of development team. Got it now? Any
Yes,
confusions?
ma'am.
Any questions? Okay. Right. So that's why it can overcome challenge of it. But still operations challenges are there. So that's where DevOps came in, which can overcome those challenges also. So now let me summarize why DevOps came in actually. DevOps came in to overcome the gap between the teams, to automate the complete workflow, right? And make the deployments automated, and also to overcome the challenges posed by the traditional methodologies like waterfall, agile, and so on. Right? Okay, fine. DevOps came in for these reasons. But now what is DevOps? Yes, DevOps is nothing but a methodology, a process. Okay, it's not any tool, it's not any language, it's not any technology. It's a methodology. Means it's a process which can be implemented to any platform, to any application, to any on. It can be implemented on any environment. It could be implemented on your applications running on on-prem servers or else on cloud environments, right? It's a methodology, it's a process, and this process will help you achieve all of them. But how? Yes, what DevOps is? DevOps means continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, along with the continuous deployment and continuous monitoring. The term continuous is important. In Agile, you have seen development testing going on parallelly, right? Similarly here, development, testing, integration, deployment, and monitoring also happens parallelly. Let me elaborate it. See, whenever developer writes some code, okay, developers will write the code. We don't write the code as a DevOps person, okay? Developers will write the code. It will be tested by testing team. And once it is ready, right, this application or this code should hit the production servers, isn't it? it should reach the production table automatically. How is this possible? This is the process. Okay, here in this process, many tools are involved, many processes, many approaches are involved. This is what is DevOps. Taking the application to production servers automatically. I mean, production servers means not directly to production. Of course, from lower environment like SIT environment, UAT environment, and then to pre-prod and then to prod. This process of automation is called DevOps, and as a DevOps person, you are involved here. I'll also answer the most frequently asked questions. Let's suppose, okay, take me as an example. Let's say I'm a developer for 17 years. Now I want to switch into DevOps methodology. Is that possible? Yes, it's absolutely possible, and it's a need of the day. Actually, it's a need of the hour, because see, you know how to develop, but now the methodology got changed, the process of deployment got changed. In some companies or in some projects, the same developer who write the code can be involved in this process, and he's called as a DevOps person. And in some companies and some projects, there'll be a separate development team. Their role is finished once you write the code. Then there is a separate team who is DevOps, who will take the application to production. So there are different approaches. Sometimes the same development team will be involved in the automation process to production, who is also called as DevOps team. But in some approaches, dev team will be separate, testing team will be separate, they write the code, that's all. Once it is done, DevOps team is separate team who will take the automation process. Am I making sense for all of you? Because these are the main questions which I see. I got so many questions regarding this. If I'm a DevOps person, where do I fit in? I'm a tester, but can I switch a career, or am I suitable for DevOps role? Yes, you are. Because like I said, in some projects, the same testers, developers will be also acting as DevOps team. But in some projects, in some companies, there'll be separate DevOps team who will make this. So if you are a developer, maybe you might be asked to work on this, or else you are a developer but you want to move to DevOps team. Yes, that is also possible, because DevOps is having huge demand in the market right now. There's a lot of demand, there is a lot of need for DevOps guys. Actually, almost all the gigantic companies like Facebook, Netflix, Amazon are already implementing this approach. And also now many companies, including small companies, are also going to implement this approach. In couple of years, maybe by 2024, almost every company will be implementing this approach. So you know the actual demand for it. This is the right time to learn, to invest your time, invest your effort, and learn this. The strongest in these skills will survive in the market in the near future. Because why you need to learn this, let me tell you. So now let's talk about what is DevOps, so that you will understand the importance of it. Continuous development, so developers write the code. Continuous testing will be done. Continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous monitoring. The C, continuous, the term C, continuous, is important. Okay, developers are involved here who write the code, testers are involved here who write the test cases. Once code is written, take the code and run the test case automatically. Test case are written by developers, but they'll be executed automatically in the pipeline. This is called the CICD pipeline, which we'll be implementing in our course on multiple applications, right? So continuous integration, deployment, and monitoring. This is what is DevOps. So, okay, what is the use of it? It is very faster. The velocity of deployments has accelerated drastically. Deployments can happen very quickly, very fastly. And this CI/CD pipeline, this is called CI/CD pipeline. This CI/CD pipeline initially may need 5 or 6 people to design and construct it. Once it is designed, single click or like a single switch, like you click a button, the button is developer write the code. Whenever developer add any new code, automatically it will go through the test process, integration process, deployment process, and monitor. Whole process automated. Initially you need 5 or 6 people, later you need just 1 or 2 to monitor it. That's why it's going to be automated, no manual intervention. Manpower, they are planning to reduce the manpower. So the person with the strongest skill set, who know this automation process, who have expertise on this approach and the skill set, will survive in the market in near future, right? Why companies are taking up this, why they are very much keen on this? It makes the deployments faster, no manual intervention, automation by 24/7 possible, 24/7 automation possible, no manual intervention, Because manpower reduced, it is also economical. Many of the tools are open source. So obviously it is also going to be economic. That's what companies need, isn't it? Automation, faster, economical, what else they need, right? So obviously everyone is switching into this methodology. Interesting, isn't it? So learn the skill set, learn the process. So yeah. And also let me tell you, let me also differentiate this methodology with waterfall methodology, Agile and DevOps so that you can just compare them. In software like waterfall methodology, the main process are like development, testing, and then deployment and monitoring one after the other. Here each happens only one after the after complete development testing begins. After complete testing, deployment, and so on. But in Agile, continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, but deployment is manual and then monitoring is done after deployment. But in DevOps, continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment along with the continuous monitoring. Any change made will go through the entire process. Am I clear? Understood these differences, everyone?
Yes, Preeti.
Also with respect to the teams, here the main three teams, development team, QA team, ops team, they are working in isolation, they are working in silos. Means each team doesn't understand the challenges of others and all, they just work as a separate team. But here, because of continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, dev team and QA team were integrated well. Okay, they are working as a single team, but ops team is still left in isolation. In DevOps, even this team is also brought into collaboration because everything happened parallelly. They work as a single team, which is called DevOps team. So who is a DevOps team? Who are eligible for a DevOps engineer, a developer, a tester, an ops person, and a middleware guy, database person, or else a fresher is also eligible. Okay, I'm eligible, but what should I know? Yes, you should know all the automation process. You should know all the tools. You should know the process. All of this will be taught in this course from the basics so that you can attend for the DevOps interviews and switch your career or switch your role into DevOps. Any more confusions, any more questions here? Because every day I see many questions in this part, like am I eligible, where do I fit in, what do I do? Okay, another question is what do you do? Suppose you are a developer, like I said, but now you are working in DevOps project, DevOps engineer, you're working as a DevOps engineer, so you don't develop the code now. Okay, if you are a DevOps person, you may be having previous experience as a developer, but if you are working as a DevOps engineer now in the pipeline, your main agenda is to automate the whole process. I believe that helps you clarify your queries. Yeah, DevOps is a methodology, Vikram. It could be implemented on-prem servers. It could be implemented on any cloud platform. Irrespective of the platform and the environment, DevOps could be implemented. It's not specific to cloud or it's not specific to any kind of environment. Any more queries? I'll also talk about where cloud comes in just in a couple of minutes. So now this is the agenda of today, like what we're discussing, big picture, an overview of DevOps, like what is DevOps and all, an overview. And there's a question from Shahin Shah. As a performance tester, can I learn DevOps? Absolutely, you can. You have to. Okay, if you have to survive in the market, because every application is going to implement this approach, this is a need of the hour. Like I said, the strongest with the skill set will survive in the market in the near future. So DevOps delivery pipeline, yes, we'll be talking about it. DevOps tools and skills, let's talk about them. And this is all I have explained. See, whatever I have explained is there in this presentation, which I'll be providing to you as a documentation, like a notes for your reference after the class. Okay, as a quick walkthrough, this will help you. I have explained you all about this waterfall, drawbacks, Agile methodology, and why DevOps came in. These are the three reasons why DevOps came in, right? So what is DevOps also we have discussed, and comparison with waterfall, Agile, and the other methodology you can see. And then roles and responsibilities of a DevOps person and skills. Okay, roles and responsibilities are nothing but you should be working at any stage in the automation process. Once developer is ready with his code and it was tested, from there a DevOps role comes in. You should be taking it to or through automation process and deploy it, right? So that's what is the role of a DevOps person. And the responsibilities or also like you need to make sure the code reaches the production servers automatically. Skills and tools of a DevOps person. We'll talk about these skills. Before that, there were few questions. I don't have much knowledge on Java. Do we learn Java for DevOps? Java is nowhere related with DevOps, Shahin Shah. Did I say anywhere Java? It's just an example. Application is developed in Java. It might be developed in PHP. It might be developed in .NET. We are not bothered about it, irrespective of the language used for development. Okay, a DevOps person's role is same. They work in the automation process of deploying this application to production. Okay, you don't need to know Java for it or any programming language for that. And Sai says, I'm storage admin. I'm less familiar with coding and scripting. Will it be easy for me to learn DevOps? Definitely, Sai, because see here we don't write code as a developer. We write some scripts. We have already the templates. Modifying the templates and working on them is what we do. Okay, that part I'll be training you here completely. And Vinayak says, on which cloud platform you will be teaching DevOps? Vinayak, I am teaching here DevOps irrespective of the cloud platform. Means the way I teach can be implemented on-prem or else on any cloud. That will be covered. Also, as an example, I'll be showing the implementation on AWS platform. If you know how to implement it on AWS, or if you know how to implement it on-prem, you could implement it on any cloud or any environment. So those two I'm covering here. Any more questions? DevOps methodology have any disadvantage or cons? Hariram, the main disadvantage comes in the resources. Means a person with this skill set is, like I said, is having a lot of demand. Okay, the person should be eligible to automate the process. So the person with this skill set is having a lot of demand, a shortage in the market actually. That's going to be a disadvantage. And another disadvantage is going to be choosing the tool, which tool should be used where. That you get through experience and through practice and expertise, right? And for MBA student, how DevOps is useful, says Gayatri. Gayatri, if you are MBA student, if you want to make a switch into IT career, then definitely DevOps is the right choice. Because see, when you are trying to enter any field, try to learn the great demanded one and the most useful one where you have a lot of job opportunities. So definitely this would be a wise choice. And Sai is another question is, how much cloud is necessary to excel in DevOps? Should we pass 2 to 3 Azure or AWS certification in the learning curve? Sai, like I said, DevOps is not dependent on cloud environment. DevOps could be implemented, I'm repeating, please listen carefully. DevOps could be implemented on-prem servers, on-premise also. DevOps could be implemented on cloud also. So it's not mandatory that you should know AWS or you should master cloud and all. Okay, in some companies, in some projects, DevOps is implemented, a methodology is implemented on-prem servers, maybe on cloud. So it's not mandatory. How to select the tools for our project? Will we be learning the same in the course? Yes, Vikas. Once you know the tool in and outs and the pros and cons of each tool, you come to know which tool to use and all. Will begin as a fresher for DevOps? Will it be easy to get up quickly as a fresher for DevOps? And what about the salary? Salary trends, you can check on Google Trend Reports, Abi, or else any job portals will show you the salary trends. DevOps engineers are the highly paid ones in the market right now, both in India and abroad. Okay, and coming to fresher, definitely there are openings for freshers also for DevOps. Any more questions? Okay, meanwhile, any questions you can put them, you can ask me. Let me walk you through the phases, tools used. See, version control tool is very important, wherein we'll be learning it. See, there are many tools under this category. There are many version control tools, like you might have heard about SVN. Yeah, you might have heard about SVN, TFS, and so on. Here we are learning the tool which is very widely used in the market, which is having a great demand. So what is the benefit from there? Because it's more widely used, you have more job openings also. Okay, so I am going to cover Git, which is very widely used tool in the category. And if you know one tool in the category, working with any other tools will be as simple as that. Okay, so yes, we are learning Git. Build automation tool Maven will be covered. Continuous integration tool Jenkins, and then containerization tools like a Docker. Infrastructure as a core tools, Ansible and Terraform will be used. See, these tools are having a lot of demand in the market. The person with the Terraform and Kubernetes skill set can get the job very quickly, because like the demand is very huge. There is a shortage for the resources here. Okay, so Kubernetes, Docker Swarm will be, every tool for that matter will be covered from the basics. So you need not worry, I don't know these tool or else how to learn this tool. No prerequisites, nothing. I'll be teaching everything from the basics. Prometheus, Grafana for monitoring, and then AWS services will be also covering certain AWS services which helps to implement the CI/CD pipeline. Even those will be covered. So this is the complete course content. Of course, just a brief content. I have just listed the tools here. Yes, you can have videos for lifetime, Yashwant. Every day class recording will be provided, and access is unlimited. Any questions on this page from anyone? Good with the list of the tools?
Yes, Preeti.
Right. What about Dynatrace? A Dynatrace like monitoring tool. Shah right now in the market, Prometheus and Grafana are leading. So I have included them. And also whatever tools I'm covering, I have practical or personal experience using those tools in the projects.
Will you cover JFrog or Nexus?
JFrog and Nexus will not be covered as Srinath. Those are artifactory tools. Those are not the DevOps specific tools.
Okay.
Yes, Krishna will be covering all of these projects. See, like I said, like I'm saying from the beginning, it's not just you learn the tool and go away. Just learn the tool like a subject, something like that, and just move on. No, we'll learn the tool and implement every tool in the CI/CD pipeline. We are going to implement CI/CD pipeline on 2 applications, which are nothing but 2 projects. Implement each and every tool end-to-end pipeline. Okay, so that you will really understand the pros and cons, the in and outs of every tool. Splunk will not be covered, Harish. See, there are hundreds of monitoring tools. Here, the idea of including Prometheus and Grafana is, the first reason is they are having a good market right now. They are having a great demand. And also nowadays, the projects are container centric. Okay, and Prometheus is a right choice for such an application. You should know Prometheus and Grafana for sure. Okay, so that's how the tools were chosen and the course is designed. And yeah, yes, this is the CI/CD pipeline I'm talking about from the beginning. Okay, this CI/CD pipeline, this delivery pipeline creation will take about a month or so, more than a month also. Okay, so this is what we'll be building in our course parallelly on 2 applications. Let me explain you. See here, developers are writing the code. Whenever developer write the code and place it on GitHub, we need a system which can automatically pull the code and build it. What is meant by building? All of them will learn. Just understand, okay, build means test the application, or else actual building the application means, suppose this is a code written by developers, pull it and build it. Building means compiling and packaging the code. Again, what is meant by compiling? Developers write the source code, convert into executable code or binaries. Okay, and then package it. Package means ready to be deployable file will be created. That's called build process. See here, this is just an overview. How do you compile the code? Developer write the code. You don't write the code. You take it and compile it and package it. How do you compile and package? Again, through automation. We don't do anything manually. So that's where build automation tool Maven comes in. Git, Maven. Okay, and then continuous testing. Automation testers will write test cases, maybe in Selenium or JMeter or whatever it is. and those test cases will be executed automatically. Then if there are no bugs, it would be deployed. In this deployment process, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform can be involved. So where each tool is involved, how it works, what is meant by continuous building, all of them will be learned. But just let me give you an overview. Developers write the code and place it in Git. Why Git? What is Git? I'm not going through them now. Okay, that's all we are going to. First, what we'll do, we'll learn Git thoroughly. From tomorrow onwards, day 2, the actual course begin. Okay, like I'll be starting with Git. First, what is Git? Why Git? What is the architecture of Git? Then how do developers write the code and place it on Git? We don't write the code, but still you need to know how Git is used. Okay, it's not any coding tool, it's a version control system. What is it and all we'll see. Everyone should know Git. Okay, how to save, how to version control your files. Your files may be some configuration files, they might be some script files. How do you version control them? So first we'll learn Git and master it. Then we'll learn Maven and Jenkins, we'll master them. Then we'll create the pipeline tool, this part. Then we'll go to the next tool of Docker. Okay, then we'll add it to the pipeline. Then we'll learn Kubernetes, we'll add it to the pipeline. Like that, we'll be learning each tool thoroughly, okay, from basics till all the advanced concepts, and then we'll add it to our pipeline and keep on building our pipeline day by day. That's how the course is designed. Understood everyone the agenda? So yeah, developers write the code, place the code in GitHub. You pull the code and do continuous builds. Of course, this is all automated via Jenkins. So Git comes in here, Jenkins comes in, okay, Maven comes in here, any automation test cases comes in. You just run the test case, okay? We don't write the code, we don't write the test cases. You just automate executing those test cases and deploy it using Docker and build the infrastructure using Terraform and so on. And once it is deployed, monitor it using Prometheus and Grafana, and feedback is sent to the respective teams, not always to the developer team, to the respective teams. This is the complete CI/CD pipeline which we are going to build from tomorrow. From day 2, the complete hands-on begin. You should be doing hands-on every day. Okay, I'll be showing you where you install it, how to do the lab setup, where to do the lab setup. The complete documentation will be provided, and also I'll be doing the lab setup in the class as well. Is this pipeline clear? Clear means just an overview. Understood what it is and what we'll be learning here. And also see, this pipeline could be implemented on on-prem servers or else on AWS or Azure or wherever you want, you can implement it. And I'll be implementing irrespective of the cloud, also will be implementing on AWS. That's where AWS services will be covered. And a question from Vikas. I'm more aligned to .NET and Microsoft ecosystem. Will be using .NET Java app for our examples? As if not, can you recommend corresponding tools? See, Vikas, my course, like I said, I'll be implementing on couple of applications like Java application and PHP. It doesn't mean that you should write the code in Java or PHP. Okay, developers will give you the code. You should develop the application with the respective languages. And how do you deploy it? How do you integrate it in the CI/CD pipeline? We'll be learning. And Yashwant says many people are saying Linux and scripting needed to learn first to become DevOps engineer. Yashwant, those will be covered here in the course from the basics. And then what language I should start learning side by side with this course, which helped me into automate things DevOps. Will I get any certification after taking the course? After completion, this course will be some live project hands-on from end to end, like one Java and source code till monitoring, means some complete project hands-on. May I know your name? I don't see your name. Your name is like waiting for name. Coming to your questions, yes, complete tools will be covered. Okay, Guru Raj. Thank you, Guru Raj, for the question. Yes, complete course will be covered on multiple applications. This complete CI/CD pipeline will be built on multiple applications. One is Java application, one is PHP application, that is microservice application, because microservice application is a need of the hour. That's how the applications are. So we'll be covering this on two applications. One is Java and the other one is microservice application, where PHP and database integration will be there. And yeah, you don't need to learn any programming language beforehand. Okay, and there is no certification for DevOps at all. There is no official certification for DevOps course, as well as anyone providing certifications on this DevOps course will not be valid. Okay, how you should acknowledge your skills? You should put them in your resume. So show your skill set in the interview. That will do. You don't need any separate certifications for it. There is no official certification for DevOps itself. So then how can anyone give the certification? If anyone saying that they are giving certification, that is not valid. So keep in mind, in interview panel, that's not considered. As I sit in the interview panel, I can say this with my experience. Any more questions? Have you got
There
an
is
idea of this pipeline? Tell me, please.
a certification for AWS DevOps, no?
You have certification for that, is certification for AWS. Okay, that's a certification for AWS DevOps. That's a different thing. Here we are talking about DevOps methodology. You don't have a certification for DevOps methodology. DevOps methodology certification means there is no separate certification for DevOps. You have to take certification on each tool separately. Like you take certification on Git separately, Docker separately, Kubernetes separately. That's how you go for certification. Here AWS certification and DevOps is where you will be tested on AWS services used for DevOps. Got it, Abhi?
Yeah. Just one more question, ma'am. Actually, what you said, ki we will be coordinating with developer as well as ops team. So, will DevOps make the job of ops team less and less in future and eliminate it?
Maybe, yeah, maybe, because see, it still see, it all depends, Abhi, because it's not in different companies, different projects are implementing in a different way. What happens if your infrastructure is going to be on-prem? Okay, then there is a separate ops team. Generally, they were still making a separate ops team who will take care of this infrastructure on-prem. Okay, if your infrastructure, if the application's infrastructure is on cloud, then the same DevOps team is taking care of the infrastructure on cloud also. Then there is no separate ops team. Generally, this is the scenario nowadays. But maybe in future, tell me. Hello? Are you saying something and then muted? So any more questions from anyone? And yeah, this is the pipeline we'll be developing, we'll be creating end-to-end on multiple applications. Like I said, a Java application and then a microservice application. Microservice application means you will get a real exposure on how applications will be in reality so that you could learn all of them to the core. Okay. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, like tomorrow we are going to start with Git. Okay, Git may take like some 6 to 7 hours or so. Okay, we'll be mastering it thoroughly. Then we'll learn Maven and Jenkins and we'll start with the pipeline. So this is how we are going to go through. And yeah, where do you install Git, how to use Git, where do we do the lab, isn't it? Every day hands-on is mandatory. Your time and effort are very important. You need to spend some time, you need to put your effort, learn the tools. Every day whatever we do, the complete hands-on should be done. So for the complete lab setup, I'll be walking you through the complete lab setup. So end-to-end CICD pipeline will be designed with the real scenarios, and also interview questions we will be discussing so that you can crack your interviews. So this is a day one session, a demo or a kind of overview. Any more questions from anyone? I believe you all have gone through the course content, right? Let me walk you through the course content also so that you will get a more understanding. We are not yet done, so please stay back. I'll be just walking you through the course content, just an outline. Okay, I believe you all have gone through it. So we were talking about what is DevOps, why DevOps, what are the tools and all. This is just an introduction or overview for the course. Okay, and from tomorrow, Yeah, we'll be starting with Git first. Okay, then we'll talk about the Linux operating system. So what is Git? What is a version control system? Why do you need Git? And then working with repositories and all the advanced concepts like Git rebase, Git reset, Git stash, and remote repositories like GitHub, all of them will be covered. This may take a couple of days. Okay, and then yeah, this is also, this cloud will be talking about these services parallelly. Okay, means whenever we come, whenever we have a need for, let's say we have a need for S3 storage service in our project, we'll be learning that service, so that you will see that a real implementation rather than just learning them one by one. We'll implement them wherever we have a need in our project, so you see the real use case. And also Elastic Container Registry Service, Elastic Container Service, Kubernetes service will be covered. EKS is a paid service. I'm also covering that, keeping in mind that you should be able to use that in a real project. EKS is the advanced and the paid service, which I am also covering in the course. Yes, course material will be provided, Krishna. Also the recordings will be covered. If I do separate course complete certification from Udemy, will they have a value in resume? And will you suggest us what courses we can do from Udemy to boost your resume? Question from Gururaj. Gururaj, those certifications are not valid. Those certifications are for your acknowledgement. That's all. In companies, in the interviews, they don't check your Udemy certifications. Only the certifications provided by the official vendors are valid. Means if you want to do certification on AWS, you should go for the official certification provided by Amazon Web Services. Only that is valid to keep it in a resume. Or else if you are doing GCP certification, you should take it from Google. Other than that, certifications provided by the Udemy or any other institute or by me are not valid. Okay, let's go for Maven. Then we'll be talking about working with the Maven and then Jenkins. Okay, we have huge course content for Jenkins, including running the Jenkins jobs on remote servers, master slave concepts in Jenkins, and integrating Jenkins with AWS pipeline, right? How you can integrate Jenkins with some AWS services, how to integrate Jenkins, how Jenkins can deploy to the Kubernetes cluster. You can see here high availability of application with a Docker swarm, right? These are all Docker concepts. All of them will be covered, right? Docker swarm, Docker compose, right? And pushing the repository, pushing the Docker images to private registries on ECR, Elastic Container Registry, all of them is covered. See, don't worry if you're completely new, we'll be taking you one by one. Maybe if anyone interested to know the topics, I'm just showing them here. Okay, and the Kubernetes course. Kubernetes, like I believe you all know, it's again a very great demanded tool in the market. So here again, Kubernetes will be covered to the advanced topics as well, like Kubernetes with EKS service on AWS, Kubernetes cluster monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana, deploying multiple microservice application on Kubernetes using stateful sets and persistent volumes, which are all the advanced content. Okay, and then yeah, creating a cluster with EKS service from the command line and then integrating this EKS service into the pipeline. Okay, so a lot of stuff, and definitely you will love the content because it is really interesting. Every scenario is designed so that you get a practical exposure. Yes, Ansible also covered Vinayak, and Terraform to build the infrastructure. Okay, Terraform to build the EC2 instances from the scratch. Also Terraform to automate creation of EKS cluster. That's going to be the really worth learning content. And then Ansible. Yes, Ansible architecture, push configurations, playbooks, modules, roles, Ansible integration with Jenkins, Ansible integration with Docker, Ansible integration with EKS cluster. Means how Ansible can deploy your applications on the EKS cluster in the CICD pipeline. Right? Everything you can see, the complete CICD pipeline with every tool, like whatever, like I have shown here, the pipeline. Yes, this pipeline design will be done using all this content. And then yes, you have Prometheus, continuous monitoring with Prometheus and Grafana. which are very great demand in the market. Just experience with Prometheus and Grafana can also fetch you a job. So it has got that demand in the market. And then AWS services like AWS, of course, I have already listed some of the services in the 4th module. Here are again some of the services which will use to create CI/CD pipeline, right? CI/CD pipeline can be done without using the tools, also without using the services, and also can be done using the services. Even that will be covered, like AWS code pipeline, code commit, code build, code deploy, cloud formation services. Cloud formation is again one of the very important service which you should know. Okay, and other AWS services which I am covering were here, right? S3 service, ECR service, ECS, EKS, and VPC. Anyway, we'll be learning all of them anyway. So here are some of them in the 4th module, and to the end you have the complete details. And so now tomorrow onwards we'll be starting with Git. The actual course begins from tomorrow. Complete hands-on will be there. I'll be sharing the lab setup documentation. You can also set up your lab on your own by following the document. Anyway, I'll also do it in the class tomorrow. It's up to you. Whoever already enrolled have got access to the lab setup documentation, have got access to the course content. Whoever not enrolled yet, you can enroll now, like register, confirm your registration today. You can message me or the team, and you can confirm your registration, get access to the stuff, and get ready for tomorrow. Class timings would be generally the same, 8 to 9:30, or else any request we have, we can adjust half an hour or 1 hour before, like maybe 7 or 7:30 or 8. These 3 timings are possible. So depending on any request, we shall move to 7:30 or 7 o'clock or same time. I'll let you know the timing by end of the day. All lab will be doing on AWS. Yes, Krishna will be doing all the lab on AWS. Yes. Any more questions you have? And yeah, everyday class recordings will be provided and will be sent to your email. Today's class recording, as it is a demo, will be available on our website. 7 will be very good, please. Let me check Vikas. It could be 7 or 7:30. I can make it depending on the number of inquiries. I mean, number of requests from the participants. 7:30 or 7 or 8 o'clock will be these 3 timings. You can let me know your preference, whether you want to have it 7 or 7:30 or 8. According to the majority preferences, we'll fix the timing. What about interview preparation and resume building? Resume building will be done from our end, Abhi, and also interview preparation. Like I said, every topic interview questions will be discussed. Like I said, I have experience sitting in the interview panel, so you will get a how your interview questions would be on every topic. Yes, projects will be given for your practice as well, Viresh. Yes. Any job guarantee you give. Job guarantee, many of the guarantee I can give is majority of the students of mine, whoever take up this course, were already into DevOps role. Okay, many got multiple offers as well. That way I can give you guarantee. Do we need laptop compulsory or we can manage with phone? For listening the class, phone is enough, Charan, but to do the hands-on from your end, you need a laptop to do the hands-on. After the class, you can do the hands-on. For that, you need a laptop. To listening, you can also join from the phone as well. And the recording will be available on the website after a couple of hours. Any more questions or to register, you can reach me on WhatsApp or call me. And are there other trainers as well? Vinayak, do you need any other trainer? Unfortunately, I'm the only one. This is not an institute, okay? This I conduct classes personally off my office hours. I have my office hours from 11 o'clock. So I do conduct trainings from my end. You said the team in the sense I have team for registration process and all. Totally how many days is the course? The course duration, the course is for like 1.5 months nearly, like 45 days, let's say 1.5 hours every day. Apart from 8 to 9:30, can we access those? See, lab setup is available 24/7, Hariram. Okay, because you will be having lab on your own PC, on your own laptop, so you can use it at your own pace, so that you will do hands-on perfectly. I have a good connections in the industry. If you're good in DevOps and even know the content as much told by Preeti, I can help you with referrals. What is this? If you're good in DevOps and even know the content. Oh, okay. You mean you are asking for referrals? Definitely, Vikas. See, for DevOps, I can say is, of course, referrals will help you. But apart from referrals, if you just showcase them in your resume, you will get a good number of calls. That is for sure. And when you keep on attending the interviews, you can definitely get the call. That is the situation scenario as of now. So when the market is good, when the demand is good, that's a right time to get into, to switch your careers. 45 days is enough for this course module. Every day 1.5 hours, Harish. If we learn it in a properly designed way from an expert, yes, it is possible. I am teaching this course. I'm going through these topics and this content from over 6 years. So if you learn from an expertise, yes, it is possible, because I know in what way I should teach. So that is all from my end. Any more questions you can ask me. You can reach me on WhatsApp. You can call me. So have a great day. Thank you all for joining, and see you all tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thank you all.
Thanks, ma'am.